Hello, everyone. I'm Norman Wahlberger, and this is a quick heads up to let you know about a recent conversation that I've had with Kurt Jaimungal, and the interview has been uploaded on his channel called Theories of Everything with Kurt Jaimungal. The topic of our discussion is real numbers aren't real, and we range over quite a few, I think, interesting topics in the foundations of mathematics, the borders with physics, and objections that I have to both infinities and to real number arithmetic. Kurt's channel is quite wide-ranging, and he has a wide number of really interesting people that he talks to, including Noam Chomsky. He has quite a few very interesting discussions with Professor Chomsky, with Stephen Wolfram, and many other luminaries in the borders of mathematics, physics, consciousness, philosophy, and actually also UFOs, such as Lou Elizondo. So it's quite interesting, and I hope that you'll go over there and have a look. As for the conversation that we've just had, I think it's quite pleasant. It was a lot of fun talking with him. We went on for quite a while, for about an hour and a half, and here's a sort of a view. Here's his description, some timestamps here, various topics that we engaged in. And I think it was quite a pleasant and an interesting conversation, even though a lot of my answers, or at least some of my answers, weren't perhaps as well stated as I could have. In retrospect, we always think of better ways of thinking about things. But anyway, I hope that's also a place where maybe my fellow peer mathematicians or mathematics students can pause and consider just, why do they believe in this real number arithmetic, which underpins so much of modern pure mathematics. There, I think, really is a clear gap between our understanding of real number arithmetic and what our computers can do. I think that's an important point that has to be acknowledged. And I think another important point is that there's a clear lack of a systematic and careful laying out of the foundations of this arithmetic for students and for practitioners. And so I think there's a cause for pause in terms of just buying into this standard orthodoxy. And I think it's important for people to think about other options. And I'm, of course, quite interested in pushing alternative, more rational, more concrete options in terms of understanding mathematics. And crucially, I think this is not just a topic for abstract, pure research, but I think it bears very strongly on mathematics education, and that the landscape of, say, undergraduate mathematics is going to be changed very considerably by letting go of the real number fantasies and engaging more closely with the computational reality that our computers are forging ahead with. So I hope, if you're interested in those kinds of things, that you'll head on over to Kurt's very interesting channel, have a look at many of the interesting interviews that he has, and have a look at my discussion with him called Real Numbers Aren't Real. I'm Norman Wahlberger. Thanks for listening.